Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Talking with Tina. And today I am joined by a very dear friend of mine who I looked it up, Al. We are at least 10 years, our friendship.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Uh, we served at the West Jordan Chamber together, and that was 10 years ago. I can't believe it. And welcome to Talking with Tina. Thank you for being here today.
Hey, thank you for asking me. It's an honor. Actually, it is an honor for me to have been asked by you. And yeah, it is amazing that 10 years has just flew by without, like a blink of an eye.
I know, and we've just, we, I'll never ever in the whole time that I'm breathing forget the day that I met you. We talk about this often as we were at a chamber lunch and we sat next to each other at a China restaurant off 90th South. Uh, it was meant to be, in my opinion. And there was a couple years we didn't talk for a while, but at the same time, we knew that we could just pick up right where we left off. And I just love that about our friendship. And I truly thank you for that.
Yeah, I'll ditto it because yeah, it was at the Red Lantern that's no longer there. It's a quick quack car wash now, but yeah, I do remember you and I hit it off like we had been friends for years, and
Yeah.
so the connection was definitely there. Yeah.
Well, I'm just so glad to have you and honored and grateful to have you in my life. We have seen each other through a lot the last 10 or so years, and we've changed jobs. Our families have grown. You've got beautiful grandkids. I do too. We've got all these things these positive things that have happened in our lives.
Yes.
But on the flip side, we've had some things that aren't so positive, right? Like we've had some challenges.
Yeah, big challenges.
And you, my friend, have had some that I admire for what you've been through and where you're coming out right now. And the reason I invited you on this, well, not the only reason, because I love you and you're my friend, but you have a passion for something right now that I want you to share with my listeners. And you have a new journey, and I need you to share that. So I'm going to just basically turn it over to you, and I'll interject her every now and then, but um, share, talk to me, open up your heart and share what's on your plate right now.
Wow. Yeah, like you said, it's a big journey that I've gone through the past, actually coming up on 12 years, and it all started by me losing my job of 24 years. And 2009 was definitely a crazy year. So 2009, I lost my job. Well, first of all, let's start off this way. 2009, I got married. I got married in May. July of 2009, I lost my job. August of 2009, my wife lost her dad. And then about 6, 7 months after that, we lost our home. And during all this time, my wife and I, we used to throw parties at our house and, have friends over and play darts in the garage and the fire in the backyard and have a lot of fun and have a few cocktails. But I really started noticing my wife's drinking
Mm.
escalating. It started getting more and more, and it wasn't just mixing a drink, it was grabbing the bottle and just guzzling alcohol right out of the bottle. And after we lost our house, we lived in the basement of friends' houses for 2 years. We just kind of hopped back and forth. All our stuff was in storage. During that time, my wife's drinking started really getting bad. It got to where she was starting to hide bottles, starting to mix alcohol with scope so you couldn't smell it. And it got pretty bad. And then she got clean for about 13 months. Our relationship was probably the best it had ever been, even before we got married. It was just phenomenal. And then one day she decided to take a sip of alcohol,
Mm.
and I got pretty upset. And of course, she argued with me, saying, "Oh, everybody's got to be perfect and no one can make a mistake." And I'm like, that's like a vampire tasting blood for the first time. And right after that day, that's when everything imploded. Her drinking got bad, really, really bad, to where she was just pretty much drinking every day. And it got to a point, hopefully I won't get too emotional here on this one, but coming up on about 2 years ago, I was coming home from a network group, and it's hard to put on a persona walking into a group with people who know me, being energetic, going around smiling, hugging everybody, just loving on everybody because I just love people. And then to walk out of there just totally exhausted because it took everything I had to show that I'm still this person. I didn't want people at the time knowing what I was going through. And I decided I was going to go home and get my gun and go up into the mountains, and I was going to finish it. I could not deal coming home to that battlefield every single day. And I still wish I could remember who called me, because I got a phone call and I put my smile face back on. And when I got off the call, my screensaver popped up on my phone, and it was a picture of my 2 daughters and my 3 grandkids. And I remember pulling over and just breaking down bawling, thinking, you selfish SOB, you're thinking about taking time away that your daughters and your grandkids have with you because of what's going on in your personal life. So to kind of fast forward things, things got really, really bad. And anyway, just trying to be there to help support my wife, because pretty much everybody else just didn't want anything to do with her, which happens. I was doing what everybody else told me, the tough love, you got to do the tough love. I would say things that I still regret to this day that I wish I wouldn't have said, but it was a learning process for me. Things are going good right now. To fast forward, she's doing really, really well. She has a great attitude, and I think I'm hoping her rock bottom hit 4 months ago after a blessing from my uncle and a little bit of time, thank goodness. And I'm very grateful and blessed that she's gotten her skills back. So I had learned, it's like the light bulb went off. I think God kept putting me through this, and I kept praying, asking me why. And I think I finally figured out why, because I was going about it all wrong to support my wife. And now that I've changed a different way of supporting her without the hard love and not throwing things as it's your fault, changing the way I talk and I speak and communicate, it has made such a huge difference. So I've been wanting to take my experience, and I had a friend tell me once that I was sharing my story too, and he's like, you need to get this out there. You need to share it. And I'm like, well, who would want to hear it? And he goes, who wouldn't? Because there are other people out there that are going through what you're going through. And I never thought of that. And I thought, oh my gosh, yeah, there is. And if I thought about taking my life, there's somebody else out there doing the same thing. And especially with COVID that hit a year ago, it puts more weight on top of us, because we're dealing with maybe losing our job or family members losing their job. Suicide has gone up, alcoholism has gone up, addiction has gone up, and it's because people are self-medicating to get themselves through this. And the loved ones who don't have the addiction, other than a few groups in Al-Anon, we don't have the support that we need, and we don't have the proper tools to help us through it. And that's now my journey. That's now my passion, is to get out there and speak and share my journey and share my story and share what is working.
Oh, my friend. And I need to first just say off, I know Janan. I love her. I know she's had a rough road, but her pure heart is that. I mean, she's a beautiful woman, and
Yes.
Every time we see, I want to just hug her and love her and pass that on with you. But you've really you've blossomed into a person who maybe did just see it one way, right? And now you're seeing it so open, and knowing that because of what you've been through, you have so much to offer. And even if it is just an open forum of just a discussion, or to stand up in front of people and just let them know what you've been through, because somebody might be just sitting in the back going, I don't want to talk about it, because no, you're right, nobody's been through it like me. But then you say one specific thing and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, he's been through it. I need to talk to him. I need to listen to him. I need to talk to other people. And that's amazing that you've been able to find that path and create this new journey, not only for you, but for so many new people.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. And I'm glad that you did bring that up, because, you know, Janan is a beautiful person. She's been carrying around a lot of baggage. So, and she is, and I think that's one of the reasons why I've not been able to get her out of my life. As hard as I've tried to, I've started a divorce 3 times and I've canceled it. I just canceled it again. You know, I told her I'd give her 6 months, and she asked, please give me another chance. And one thing I got to say, maybe she has been through 7 rehabs and through detox many times, but that means she's still putting forth the effort. At least she's trying. It's not trying it once or twice. She's done it 7 times.
Yeah.
You know, so I know she wants to get well. If she didn't, she wouldn't have tried it 7 times.
Yeah.
So she is a great woman, and I'm hoping that, and what's really great is she's okay with me sharing the story. She's okay with it. Before, when I first started, we got in arguments because she says, you're trying to make me look like I'm a loser and blah, blah, blah. But that was her way of thinking. Mm-hmm. Now she understands where it's going. And I think the reason why is because how I've changed to talk to her. Our communication is 100% better.
I love you both. You guys are amazing. I do admire you for sticking through it, Al. You are an inspiration, and I'm so grateful that I have you in my life. And Janan, please let her know that I continue to pray for her, and I love her, and I send air hugs all the time. So I love it.
I definitely will. I will definitely pass that on. And you're not alone. Just if I can hurry and throw that out there, you're not alone. Because as I started sharing my story, mm-hmm. I cannot believe, and some of these people you and I know, and I will not mention their names because everything stays with me. Yeah. I cannot believe how many people started pulling me off to the side and saying, hey, I don't know if you knew, but I battled this, or I have a son or a daughter, or I have a husband or a wife. That's when I realized how widespread this is. It's like cancer. If cancer has affected almost every family in America, and addiction is the exact same thing.
Mm. I love you, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I love you back.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Talking with Tina. Definitely raw and real, and that's the way it is, right? It's got to be, because it's life. It's reality. So until next time, everybody.
Thank you.